Scott Agnes here of VigilantSports.com. Pleased to be joined by the founder and owner of Sports Graphics, an Indianapolis company, Frank Hancock. And Frank, a big time for your company right now. You guys are busy throughout the year, but especially right now with the NCAA and the Final Four right here in your own backyard.
Yes, having the Final Four in Indianapolis is special to us, and the home of the NCAA, besides my home, and our company was founded here, so it's very special.
What other things do you have your hands in? Because I think people know you from the Super Bowl, they know you from the Final Four, but there's an incredible amount of things. In the Pacers, you see the banners behind you.
Yeah, right now we're in the Bankers Life Fieldhouse, and we do everything for the Pacers, and getting ready. Hopefully they'll be in the playoffs in another week or so. So that'd be a challenge. And at the same time, while we're wrapping up the Final Four in a week, we're also doing the Frozen Four, which is their hockey tournament in Boston. And we've got a few other things around the country. It's all happened at one time. Like there's the Red Bull MotoGP down at the Austin Motor Speedway. We set up on that at the end of the week. So we've got people all over the country doing stuff right now.
Fair to say, busiest time of the year though for your company.
Yeah, I would say this is a busier time than the other busy times, but we're fortunate we're busy.
Take me through what goes into the bracket. By now, I mean, like we saw with the Super Bowl, and now the bracket on the side of the JW Marriott. Incredible media and social media exposure, but just what goes into something like that from a planning and installation standpoint?
Well, I think the media exposure is a good point. The first thing was done there was the Super Bowl trophy in 2012, and that was the most seen picture on the internet in the world that year related, because it's a special building. You'd almost think it was made to put stuff on it.
Doesn't it?
And
yeah.
So when we came up with the idea this year, I think the idea was always to put something on it, but for the last 6 months we kicked around different ideas and worked with the NCAA. There's talk about artwork and something similar that road ends here, maybe a player, but it can't be a player. I mean, a lot of things kept coming back to the bracket. And I think what no one thought about was the fact, well, why not? If you're going to put it up, you got to update it.
Yeah.
You got to put the teams. And I mean, the thing is, it's huge. I mean, it's talked about the other day. It's 18 stories tall and it's 285 feet wide. People say, well, what does that mean? And I go, well, that's 44,000 square feet, and that's twice the size of the Super Bowl trophy. And I still can't figure out what that is. Well, Indiana's basketball.
There you go.
You can put 9 basketball courts on it. And if you want to really drill it down in Indiana, take it out here and lay it on the field, you call that an acre. That's how big that is. And
wow.
But it went up. It's really constructed almost like you put wallpaper up. You better get the first roll in the right place and then start matching up. But there's 357 different rolls of material that went up to form that.
Now, does it take any kind of special printer or anything like that? It seems like it maybe take better technology.
Well, I mean,
especially if you think about in the rooms too, it's got to be. I know I've seen it. You can see out, but yet
well,
both ways.
The material's pretty interesting, because you're right. When you're in the room, if it's tinted glass, you don't even know it's out there. And but on the other side, you see right through it. I mean, it's kind of magic. But it doesn't really take a lot of special. There's something to doing it, but at the same time, I don't want you to think it's we're reinventing something.
Yeah,
it's pretty neat. It's the same type of material you'll see in a lot of office windows and advertising. It's just 44,000 square feet of it. And then you take the 68 names we put up, that was another 12,000 feet of it. So it's, but I say we update it after each round, and then this weekend after the games on Saturday, we'll update the final 2, and then during the last game, we'll have some men up there.
During the game, they're
going to be hanging up there about 20 stories up off the ground with 2 logos, and one of them's going to be the winner. And as soon as the game is over with, they'll put that logo on, so as people come out of the stadium, they'll be able to go and take a picture. You
in your early stages, you haven't had to ever hang anything. I can't imagine what it would be like to be that guy, hanging down from in the installation.
I mean, they're hung on ropes, but they're really on a lift. It's about 25 feet wide, and I call it a window washer. I'm actually going to go up on it tomorrow. I figure at my age, I want to get a picture of the company will always have of me, and what's better than that than be on a bracket 20 stories up.
You talk about the company. What kind of pride does both you and just all your employees, maybe emails going around of how neat something like this, and it's not just this, it's everything. You're going to see Lucas Oil loaded with all kinds of banners and such.
Well,
that's just one example.
We're very fortunate. The type of work we do, people see. I mean, a lot of companies are equal as far as creative companies or sign companies. But the stuff we do, people see, because we're in sports.
Yep.
And people, it's highly seen in the media. And this one, the bracket will be lit up starting tonight. So I mean, it hasn't been lit up yet tonight. We turned the floodlights
as of Tuesday.
Yeah. So it'll be lit up. be quite spectacular.
Yeah, very good. Well, appreciate the time. I know it's excellent work. I guess one last thing, touch on outside of that bracket, what other things can people expect from your company throughout the city?
Well, I think if you go over to Lucas, the big windows in front have the gigantic road ends here. The 2 football players in the front will be covered up.
On both sides.
On both sides, that will have the Final Four logos of Final Four teams, and there's all kind of. If anybody's been inside Lucas Stadium, there's a lot of advertising throughout the stadium that we've put in over the years for different advertisers. Well, pretty much all that's been covered up with NCAA advertisers and NCAA look for the event. The inside of the stadium, our prominent color this year is a red, and it's really brightened up the whole stadium. It's just it's going to be pretty spectacular when you get inside.
Well, neat. We see your guys' work all over, from right here at Bankers Life throughout the city. Frank, appreciate the time and great job with your company here.
Thank you very much.